Hello, people of the internet and or YouTube. I am Lewis, and welcome to Chubby Guy Entertainment. Or me, a chubby guy, does his best to entertain you, the audience. There's been not a lot, but there's been some confusion over my scream technique, as you would say. I don't inhale scream. I've only ever done it once in my life, and that was when even my exhales were with my throat, so I've changed since then. I've developed a technique. What it's called is fry screaming. I fry scream, but I figured a demonstration and a nice explanation of what I do would be helpful to those who don't understand. So yeah, let's just get right to it. I was in 9th grade and I was screaming with my throat thinking I was the shit. People were saying, "Oh my god, you sound so good," when really I did not. I fucking sucked. And eventually a friend of mine approached me and was like, "Are you screaming with your throat? You know you're not supposed to do that, right?" And I was like, "What? What are you talking about? Like, come on, it's just screaming. Like, where's it supposed to come from?" But I had found out that you're supposed to use your diaphragm and not your throat. Now, if you don't know what a diaphragm is, it's located in the center of your body, right between your chest and your stomach. This is kind of high up somewhere, so if I can, I can't. You'll just have to imagine my thick-ass body, where my diaphragm is. The way I learned, I had just taken vocal class, which just taught me how to sing like an opera singer, you know. Ave Maria. So I had learned how to sing through the soft larynx and use my diaphragm pretty well. What I hadn't quite grasped was that when you're screaming, you're supposed to tighten your diaphragm. I hadn't really got that. I didn't get that concept until much later. So what I end up doing is I start with a basic fry scream. So it's like I'm the bitch from The Grudge, you know, doing the backwards walk and all that, like it's The Last Exorcist. And I push it with my diaphragm. I tighten my diaphragm. I make sure it's nice and full of air. And then I go from to that's a basic fry scream. Now I know what you're thinking. Lewis, you don't sound anything like this in any of your vocal covers. Well, that's because I've added shit to it. I was constantly encouraged to be louder by a lot of my metalhead friends / screamers. Randy was one of the people who didn't force me. Thank you, Randy. If you guys don't know who Randy is, Paradoxical covers on YouTube. Quality stuff. Check him out. Even though he has more subscribers than me. I'm not jealous. Anyways, so I kind of just constantly, like, I had to project, and nothing would work for me. Except, you know, just constant practice. I just kept at it. And then I figured something out that helped me out. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and demonstrate one of my yells, which, contrary to what you might think, it's not a, "Hey!" It's not a actual yell. I call these yells because I don't know what else to call them. Voice crack, screaming, low, mid highs, maybe? Anyway, I learned this scream after listening to a lot of Mice and Men, where Austin Carlisle, we all know, right now he isn't active in the band, unfortunately. Although Aaron's been doing a pretty good job. That's besides the point. Austin's scream, when he could do it, was different to anyone else's. You couldn't find someone that could scream like Austin Carlisle. You had people who could scream similarly, which is what I ended up doing. I could scream somewhat similarly to him, but nothing exactly like his scream. So I tried my hand at it. I tried a couple impressions of vocalists, and I kind of took that sound he made and it's like, it's hard to explain. Every time I listen to Austin, I heard this, like, I felt like he was cracking his voice at the very beginning of his scream. So I took that, no, I tried to mimic that noise, like, ah! Ah! Sounds stupid, I know, but it's the way I started it, honestly. And then I tried it with a scream, and, well, I incorporated screams into it, and what I got became my yells. So I went from wah to wah, wah, wah. Let's someone naked want to see me over. Come on, daylight. Half-assed second in Sebring. But yeah, that's how I learned how to yell. And then, or mid-high. My high screams are kind of just mid-highs now, because they're the easiest for me to do and they sound the best. I can demonstrate a deathcore high that would come from me. I'm not using my throat. It sounds like I am. And I promise I'm not hurting myself. The most I'll get at the end of the day is pushing my voice too hard by doing both cleans and screams and going way out of my range, which I do a lot. I go out of my range all the fucking time, and it ends up leaving my voice feeling like either just slightly worn out, or I just have to constantly drink water, which I do either way. So it's a win-win. Mids came sort of easily to me because I kind of just had to project a regular fry scream. Now, since there's a lot of echo, well, not a lot of echo, but since it's an enclosed space in here, my fry screams don't sound as weak as on camera as they do in real life. If you heard it in real life, you'd understand what I mean. But I'm gonna try to make it as weak as possible so you understand what I'm talking about. With fry screams, they were like, so then I projected even more, and I got a sound that sounded somewhat like Danny Warsnop and from Death to Destiny, and from Asking Alexandria, I got a sound like his mids. I say from Death to Destiny because the song "Killing You" or songs like "Killing You" and "The Death of Me," not the rock mix, the actual album version, helped me figure this out. Excuse me. Oh, wait, there's still one there. Yeah, pardon me. But, that was so rude of me. Songs like Killing You helped me out because I found that the sounds were similar. And, if you want a demonstration, the beginning of Killing You, or, well, without the singing, 3 years of torment and torturous love, still with tears and mistrust, enough is enough! See what I mean? Mids right there, just, wah, 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 and then I just gradually get lower and lower until I hit. This is some high quality H2O. Sponsor. Anyways, until I hit my low growls. And I use growl very loosely because my growls, they may be low, but they're not as low. Like, I've just constantly been put down by Randy in the past because anyone I tell, or anyone that has heard me scream, and then whenever they compare me to Randy's just a straight, like, he uses a completely different technique, and he screams way better than I do. That's just the way it is. His screams sound louder, better, and his growls are lower than mine. But I can still hold my own in deathcore and stuff here and there, Enterprise Earth, Whitechapel, Thy Art is Murder, because of a lot of mouth manipulation and tongue placement. What I do is I kind of just tilt my head down as much as not as much as possible, but just a little bit slightly, and I kind of just let my bottom jaw hang out a little bit. It's kind of weird, I know, but I make this face, and right there, kind of just, you can hear the difference in my speaking voice. If I were to do a regular scream, already sounds kind of different. Now if I were to do an O sound, now I use tongue placement, and you get my basic low scream that you guys hear on the regular, which is and then I can manipulate my mouth even more to make it lower or guttural. So it's like, and that's mainly projecting a fry scream along with lowering it and using a shit ton of mouth manipulation. That's literally what it is for me. And it's kind of mental too. Tilting your head down and making a caveman face kind of helps. Do I have anything more to cover? I mean, deathcore highs are really not my forte. I use tongue manipulation with highs sometimes to make them sound somewhat better, but they still sound so strained. The best I can do is sounds weird, I know. I barely use deathcore highs anymore, but yeah. And I might as well show you guys how I do distortion singing, right? I got this idea from a guy named Ken Tamplin. Damn, that's so hard to say his name. He's a really good vocal coach. I haven't paid for his online teaching. I kind of just watch his YouTube videos, and I saw him do a tutorial on distortion that actually helped me out a lot. But I'm pretty sure I do it my own. It's kind of weird because he said to focus on using the parts of your throat that you use for fry screaming, or he calls it the vocal fry. But he's still singing with it. So he goes, that was my best impression of Ken, but Ken's leagues ahead of me with years of experience. So if you want a better explanation, go to his channel. But it's really just that. I kind of just if I need that grit and distortion, but I still have to sing it, like if I were to do Linkin Park's crawling in my skin, these wounds they will not heal. It helps a ton, but it is extremely exhausting to do it. I thought screaming was bad, then I learned how to do that, and I ran out of breath so hard when I first started it. You can, if any one of you knows Randy personally, you can ask him, because he's been there with me every step of the way through my evolution as a vocalist. Don't know why I did that hand motion, but I'm going to just keep doing it, because I don't care. That was unnecessary. I promise I'm not on any drugs. But yeah, that's just a basic understanding of how I do it. It works for me. It does not hurt. My voice tires out sometimes, but you're going to get that anyways. It's really just more of building up endurance and being able to go longer and longer and longer. Giggity. But yeah, on that note, I'm Lewis from Chubby Entertainment. Thank you for sticking around to the end of the video. I've been away for a full week because I've been really lazy and just procrastinating a lot. So I'm going to try and build up the motivation to make more videos. Maybe dance videos, covers, who knows. I'm trying so hard to build motivation, but it doesn't work for me. I don't know. But I have seen that my subscriber count is going. We're at 63 right now. And I know that's not even a lot, but to me it is, because I mean, even if I just had one person subscribe to my channel and knew that they were actively watching my stuff, I just still upload, because that's all I really want in life, is to entertain or have someone watch my stuff. Just create content, you know? But not to get any mushy or anything. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys later. Chubby Entertainment, out. Who's up?